I'm so grateful for another day to help stimulate the mental. Time to strategize, huddle up, where's your circle? I can feel the movement radiate through the convo. Talk is cheap, turn your faith into work. I drink my second cup and put my hands in the dirt. 2 cups drinking straight drip from the earth. Caffeinated conversations, you heard them here first. One for the wake up. One for the wake up. Two for the work. Caffeinated conversations, you heard them here first. Welcome back to 2 Cups Cafe, where I'm your host, Alan C. Jackson, aka 2 Cups, and who I am coming through for a high quality caffeinated conversation. Today is none other than Calvin Daniels. What's going on, Calvin?
Hey, how you doing? It was a great meeting you online through our Scott Bulldog group.
Yes, sir.
And you asked questions, and hopefully I provided everything you and your family require.
Yes, sir.
So
yeah, I'm gonna back up a little bit. I mean, you got on that beautiful Bulldog maroon, and so you had put up something on the page, the Bulldog alumni page, that hey, I'm Calvin Daniels. I'm class of 77, retired military, and I've retired over in Ghana, and I'm doing big things. So you posted a YouTube video, man, and from there it was like, I started following you and listening to your interviews and just learning about the things you got going on over there. But man, tell me about coming from Toledo and deciding to go to the military, and then fast forward.
okay, I'm the 7th child. I had a twin sister here, and she was murdered here in Toledo. And I knew from age probably 5 or 6 that I was going to join the Air Force.
Okay.
I had my uncle. What drew me to that, I had an uncle, Melvin Mitchell. He had Skippy's Carryout by Scott High School.
Okay.
And he had a picture on his TV, him in an Air Force uniform. And that, from day one, 5 or 6, I was like, oh, I'm going to join the Air Force, you know. And that was my plan. That's why, I did okay in high school, but I said I knew I didn't want to go to college.
Okay.
And when I enlisted in the Air Force, delayed enlistment as a sophomore, and I knew that, hey, I was going. I tried to get my buddies to go, but they didn't want to leave Toledo and this and that. And then subsequently, I joined the Air Force and traveled around the world, and I got promoted. In the Air Force, if you study, you can get promoted.
Okay.
And I made E7 Master Sergeant, at early, like 12 years. That was like 3 years before the norm. And like I said, I traveled to Panama, Philippines, Guam, Portugal, UK, Germany, and on and on.
So you was able to get a worldwide global view early on in life.
And I realized then that when I retire, I was going to move out of the United States. I don't like cold weather.
You sound like my wife.
Yeah, so I can never live in Toledo, Man. I love, I come here because I have family and friends here. But living here for the rest of my life, I couldn't see it. And then the way we are treated at home, I don't know whether I'm not going to define want us here.
Okay.
And so looking at how other lifestyles is, even though the United States has all the conveniences we require, but there's other way of living that can make you comfortable. Like where I'm at in Ghana, in the last 8 years, they had 3 mass shootings, and that was 2 people each time, 2 or more people making a mass shooting.
Okay.
In 8 years. I subscribe to this news thing from Toledo.
Yeah,
people go get gas in the gas station, get shot nightly. It's not like who needs that stress?
So let me ask you this: like when you were coming up, like right about to graduate high school and go to the Air Force, like was there any pushback from family or friends? Because we weren't too long out of the Vietnam conflict. So were people like, you better not go, or did they encourage you?
My mother was fearful, but every uncle I had on my maternal and paternal side were Army, military. They did their little stint and got out. And I had an uncle who I kind of almost mirrored my life after him. His name's Willie James Mitchell. He was in the Army 2 years, and he was a merchant seaman for 30 or 40 years. So he was in Panama going to Canal, different side. Every time he came in, he brought us coffee and all this stuff from different places. So I knew I need to travel.
Yeah.
You know, I can't be just stuck in one place for all my whole life. And I have friends, family, probably never left the state of Ohio.
Right.
You know, and I said, that's not me. My vision, like I said, I'm into discovery, animals, stuff like that. So I knew I need to travel. Excuse me.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so you got out of here. What made you decide to make it a career? Like, I know a lot of guys, like even I went to school with, they might do 2 years and then go to reserves, or they might do their 4 years, come back. Or what made you decide to make it a career?
I had a fear of working in a factory. I mean, my mom retired from a Chevy. My father retired from Chrysler. All my friends, Jeep. You know, I mean, when I graduated from high school,
That's
get this job at Jeep.
I worked
you
there
know,
for 15 years.
and my mom used to come home with a little. She did putting a little widget in the transmission for 8, 9, 10 hours a day, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't do that. You know. And I said, what can I do? You know, I didn't want to go back to school, even though I went to took classes in the military, but that's not something I wanted to do. And I said, the Air Force, they said, hey, you study these books, you control your own pay raise.
Okay.
So that, and then the travel, I went to Panama, 19 years old, you know. I was a kid in the candy store, you know. We'll leave that at another conversation. But
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, man, so let's fast forward a little bit. You did your career in the military, then you went on to do some government work.
Yes, I was a GS-11. Let me back up.
Okay.
First, when I first retired, I took the early retirement from the Clinton came up with a 15-year retirement.
Okay.
And so I had promoted, and I said I was done. When I was Air Force, I wrote an article. Air Force Times has a magazine that goes worldwide.
Okay.
And I wrote an article in Air Force Times, Racism in the Military. And it's still prevalent to this day. And I wrote this article in 1994. And it's just like if a white airman got in trouble, they may back on the hand, send him back to work. But he was a minority, they would demote him or discharge him.
Yeah.
And you see it. It was, they call it was overt, but yet covert, because we see it. So it's a reality. And I wrote an article, and then and I put in there, President Clinton, thank you for the 15-year retirement. I had enough. And when I got out, I worked at a federal correction. I was a federal correction officer in a prison in Bastrop, Texas.
Okay.
And I worked there for 93 days. I quit before I got another job. I can't.
So you couldn't do it?
I can't be. It was easy job. I can't be locked up.
Yeah.
You know, when you go in that prison, you locked up for 8,
too,
12, or double shift 16 hours. And, you know, it was like, I can't do this. I can't do jail.
Yeah, I heard that.
That's why people be doing stuff and get locked up or oh no.
For sure.
And then I got out, and then I was in Austin, Texas. I worked for Dell Computer. I was a materials manager for Dell. Applied Material, they make microchips. I was a material manager for them. And then I moved from there to Dallas, and I was in logistics.
Okay.
And I was material manager for Flextronics. And then opportunity to join the federal government came about. Okay. And I initially worked part-time as an IRS agent. And they wanted to hire me full-time. I said, no, it was like a low position. I said, if I came in full-time as a GS6 or something, I'd be stuck there until I got promotion. But I know based on my qualification, I can come in as a GS11 and GS12.
Okay.
So I applying for positions, like 300 of them. When you apply for a federal job, you got to apply.
Yeah, go. Huh?
And I came on directly as a GS11, and I stayed there long enough to retire. So, I mean, multiple streams of income through retirement is tremendous.
So when you would do logistics and material management, like what kind of skills that you had to have, like for that, like far as task managing or project managing?
As a project manager, one thing I a little bit above, ahead of some of my temporary as far as computer skills. I knew Excel,
Okay.
and I forgot what we used to call years ago. It was similar to Excel, but I knew that because I to this day I do a budget.
Okay.
I can tell you basically even my personal budget what I should have in my checking account a year from now.
Wow.
And I tell everybody, young people, do a budget. Well, I don't make enough money. That's when you really need to do a budget.
Okay.
Because everything should have a name on it, like entertainment money,
Right.
bill money, lunch for your kids.
Clothing.
Every penny should have and then you got to have entertainment, and add an entertainment fund. There's people get paid, not just young people. I'm gonna say people in general get paid on a Friday, and by Saturday night they broke.
Oh yeah.
I don't care how much money they make, they broke. They're waiting for the next payday.
Yeah, I had group home. Of course, you had a chance to come out and visit. Young men that they get a job and they'll quit it maybe a month later because they say I don't make any money. I said, no, you making it, but you spending it before you get it. So when you get paid and the money's gone, now you feel like it's no sense to me working. I don't have anything.
Financial literacy. Why don't we as black people, we don't promote that? Kids get 18, they clueless. Like on my farm in Ghana, I have 14 full-time employees. In order to work for me, it's mandatory you have a checking account.
Okay.
Mandatory. If not, you can't work for me.
Right.
And there's employees in their 30s and 40s never had a bank account. But they do now.
Yes.
And now they like, wow, I'm so glad I do that, Because if you put money in your hand, the tendency is to spend it.
Yeah.
That's just the mentality we have. So
you just keep pulling it out till it's gone. Yep.
Yeah. So, and that's what I did. I'm not there just to line my pockets with money. I want to give back as well. Like I said, I want to build an agricultural school over there.
Yeah, for sure. So let's back up just a little bit and talk about. Okay, now you're getting to retire. How long were you retired before you decided, I'm getting out of here?
What drew me, I retired from the federal government early because when, again, I hate to use that word, they elected Trump, I realized that this country is not the country for me. I had to back it up. It's not about all white people, but 50% of more than 50% of them voted for this guy, and I like. So when I look at other people, I'm looking at if it's two of them, one of them is probably racist. I mean that's my mentality. Somebody proved me wrong,
right?
And for them to go to the bottom of the barrel, bust the bottom of the barrel up and go deeper to find this guy. And I don't want to get into politics, but I can't comprehend that, And I'm over there, and I have so much peace, I mean, there's places in Toledo we can't go at night.
For sure.
If we are, we stupid, Ghana, they have petty crime there. I'm not saying it's utopia,
right?
But it's not like the inner cities here.
Yeah. So tell me, so was Ghana your first choice?
No, Nigeria was.
Okay.
I did the DNA thing. I'm not. You can see from my complexion, bro. I'm 96% West African per DNA on Ancestry.
Okay.
And I'm 46% Nigerian. So I said, wait, I'm gonna move to Nigeria, because maybe back when I was stationed in England, I had a group of Nigerian students.
Okay.
They crossed the street. I thought they wanted to fight, and they like, are you Igbo? I'm like, I'm from Toledo, Ohio. I was young. I didn't know what that meant,
Right.
Now I know, I know I look Nigerian, and I worked with some Nigerian engineers in Dallas, and they like, don't move to Nigeria unless you're Nigerian, because it's dangerous, So, and they were, born and raised in Nigeria,
Right.
So. Me and my cousin, I met another DNA cousin named Kelly. She lives in New Jersey, and she said, "Well, let's go to. We wanted to go visit every country that we share DNA with, and so we decided on in 2019 to go to Ghana.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say I'm non-religious. I went to Ghana and I felt something. I told her within a couple of days, I'm gonna retire here.
Okay.
And then when I got back to the United States, I'm 100% disabled vet, and all the numbers added up, and I said, I'm retiring, and I was telling all my friends I'm moving to Africa. Everybody like, yeah, right, you know. I sold I had a duplex. I sold that, sold my vehicles, and I divested some of my stocks, and packed up and left. You know.
So initially, when you went there, like, did you go with a business mind and plan?
No, I came there solely to retire.
Okay.
Get a house on the beach, you know, and just chill. But then I'm I'm healthy, and I said, well, what can I do to stay busy? And there was another guy I met in one of the groups online on Facebook. He said, well, he wanted to do poetry or something like
Poetry.
Poetry. And I was like, we looked at that, and I said, that's a labor expense, and there's a lot of money with vaccines for chickens and all that. And I said, no, I don't want to do that. And then we looked at, piggery, pigs, and I like, no. And then there was a thing on Facebook about a snail festival.
Okay.
And I like, what, snails? I never ate a snail in my life at that point.
Yeah.
And so I went to the festival, and I was sitting up there, and there was a lot of West African people there, Ghanaians and Nigerians, and then it was like everybody said, we're gonna go home and do a little small snail in the backyard, make a little money. I said, why don't y'all think bigger than that? Do a mega farm.
Yeah.
Why don't 10 of y'all do a mega farm? And one of the Ghanaian guys said, well, you got to be careful. If they're Akon or Ga, they don't work together.
Wow.
They can't tell them they can be twins, and they will not work together because they're tribal, different tribe. They're tribal there. I said, yeah, just like we are here, you know? And so I did the planning, and I said, what can I do? And because initially I was going to do an Airbnb, but I said, where the land I bought is not feasible, but it's too far from the city.
Too far from the city, okay.
And then I looked at the snail, and I found that they import 20 tons of snails every year from a neighboring country. And then when I looked at this,
the snail, what they do with them?
It's for consumption, food. And I've eaten, I tell you, it's a consistency of a lobster, but it takes on the taste of the flavors that you add to it. It is really good.
Wow.
And then like in Jamaica, they have the conch. It's a sea snail. It's similar taste.
Yeah,
yeah. It's that's a snail. It's just a ocean sea snail.
Yeah,
and these are land snails. That, yeah. And the African land snail gets as big as your fist.
Okay.
And everything about the snail is lucrative. I don't know if you want to go into that now, but it's the eggs, the shell, the meat, and then you can sell the juvenile shells, the snails to other people as well.
Okay.
So we're thinking. I hate to sound corny, worldwide domination in that market,
So tell me this. So, all right, you went to the Snail Expo, the festival. At that time, did you have land or?
I had 2 acres.
Okay.
And then I talked to there's so many chiefs there. The chiefs who own the land, that's the title they have.
Okay.
And I said, well, I want to expand. So I bought 7 more acres, 4 more acres, and I said, well, I was worried about somebody putting something next to me that I didn't want. So I bought land all the way next to somebody like to the left of me looking at my land. And now I'm going to buy 20 more acres.
Okay.
Because we're going to outgrow that land.
Yeah.
I see that right now. Especially with the potential income coming in, it's going to be huge.
So where did you get your, all right, so you got the land. You decide you want to do, the snail farm. You decide you want to do other agriculture endeavors. Like, is this something that you had, previous background in, or how did you attract the talent to help you cultivate the land?
Well, as far as my mom, uncle, everybody had a garden in my family. And so even when I was in the Air Force, I had custody of my 2 nephews when my sister was killed. And we always had a garden, but that's a small scale. But, reading and comprehending and research, and I realized, if I don't know, then I'm going to hire you if you know, and still gaining knowledge. And that's what I did. I have a farm manager with extensive farming experience. And so I went from there because, of course, I don't know everything. But now I study and read a lot. If I don't know what I need to gain that knowledge, or have a working knowledge where, I can see if you're doing something wrong or right, So that's what I did.
So you started like gathering employees, or you had this master plan, and then did you get any help or buy-in from the government or community or the people that's like in in control, or did you have to like go around them? Like, how was that navigating their like their system?
I, well, I did have a like a business consultant who gave me some information. A lot I have to research on my own there, and a couple of my employees is like when I got there I take Uber everywhere, and two of the people who work for me are Uber driver. One Uber driver has a degree; he's a biochemist.
A biochemist Uber driver.
Yeah, but he can't get a job there. You know, and if he was to get a job, it'd be probably 400 CDs. That's the name of the money is CDs, CEDIS. 400 CDs per month, which is about $40 a month.
So our dollar is.
It's like it's 10 to 15 to 1, but I rounded it 10. But it can be 15. It can go down to 8. But that's the average Ghanaian income is $50. The working Ghanaian is $50 a month.
Yeah, I just want to say like I said, I've watched your YouTubes and I follow you. It had to be like, I don't want to say brave, but you had to have some courage to. I mean, you built a container home. You had to put what you guys call it a borehole. You had to pave the road. Like, tell me a little bit about like this land. It wasn't like you just went out there and started scattering some seeds.
No, it's a raw land, so we had to. I have an Excel spreadsheet with 35 tabs on it. Okay. And I tell you, as a project manager, you got to plan stuff out. You know. And once I acquired the land, and then I said, I got to put a road there. And then, to grow anything, you got to have water, and then I had to have a structure to live there. So,
exactly.
And then what can we grow to supplement the snail farm? And we're doing the habaneros and chili peppers. And I'll gladly share we're doing 12 acres of habaneros.
Okay.
And I want to export it, so we're getting our farm certified.
Okay.
And that should be done in a couple of weeks, so we can ship to Europe, Germany, UK, and also Canada. And the German government has contacted me, so they telling me what they need for our certification.
Yeah.
But the habaneros alone should generate, this is $30,000 a week. When everything is fully fruity. Yeah. Now, I'm not counting the 11 acres of chili peppers.
Right.
And the overhead for the company, 14 employees and the temps we have is about $3,200 a month. So
and that's not cheating nobody. That's
no,
paying them
I'm paying them 3 times more than what the average Ghanaian make.
Wow.
Yeah. So everything else is half will go for operating and expansion, and half going to a pot for investors.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about. Like most people, like I hadn't even heard of snail, nothing. Like except for like escargot, and I just knew that was something that I didn't want to eat. So tell me about this African snail and like all of its benefits and qualities and income streams you can make from it.
Well, for meat consumption, if you research African land snail, is one of the most beneficial proteins you can eat. And they actually say for a pregnant woman, it has the zinc and the vitamin A's, and it has everything, not everything, a lot of the nutrients that a pregnant woman, it benefits pregnant women.
Like eating the prenatal.
Yeah, yes, it's really healthy. And it tastes good, too. If we can get out of our mind not to eat certain things, but again, my family, we eat chitlins, what the heck? So, I mean, how you going to turn down an African land snail and you eating,
chitlins.
pig intestines, So, I mean, I eat chitlins too. I'm not bragging, and my uncle, they go bring a turtle home. We can cut them up and eat fried. They squirrel, rabbit.
Raccoon,
yeah,
possum.
Yeah. No, we don't eat raccoon. We eat coon.
It's a coon.
Yeah. So I'm like, in Africa, this side, all protein is probably in there. They eat the caterpillars from the palm tree.
Okay.
Grasshoppers. We killed a puff adder. Don't throw that thing away. The village, they cook him up, So, lizards, they don't know. If protein, they gonna eat it.
Okay.
It's just Western, we're too
we got our
too sweet, special to eat. No, like they eat, or I want to go to they eat everything. But one thing about the African land snail is, for meat, and then snail eggs. African land snail is called white caviar.
Okay.
The eggs are eaten and it's more expensive than sturgeon caviar.
The sturgeon caviar,
That's the fit, because you can get a female sturgeon caviar that had 40 pounds of eggs in it. But then the African land, they have up to 1,000 eggs a year.
Okay.
But 1 pound of snail egg caviar is $3,000. And so I have a customer, in Europe. I'm meeting them in Italy, Milan, Italy, around June the 20th. They want to buy snail egg caviar exclusively from my company.
Okay.
And why not? And then the snail shells. It's ground. That's what for powders and lipstick. That's what snail shells. It's ground to a powder, and it has a term humectant in it, which retains water to your skin, your lips, and stuff like that. And that's $80 a pound. And then I mentioned the snail slime.
Yeah.
Dehydrated snail slime. People frown when you say, you know anything about snail slime, but when I mentioned mucin, hyaluronic acid, or filtrate, I've seen that on commercial. That's snail slime, And it takes 15 to 20 liquid kgs of snail slime to make 1 kg of dehydrated snail slime. So it's concentrated.
So it's concentrated. Okay.
And the rehydrated, you can just use water or carrier oil like jojoba or something like that. But you can rehydrate with water, So when you see on these commercials and they say it's 100% snail slime and it's a little 1 ounce tube and it's only $19, like, okay, no, people misunderstand that. It's 100% purity of snail slime, but it's not 100% by volume.
Okay.
So that was confusing people. Well, why does it only cost when it costs $60,000 for a kilo? So that's to understand they got so much minute quantity in there.
Yeah, they know how to.
Yeah. So, but people misunderstand that because that's one thing about the investor when they see that, like, I see it on Amazon for $4, And so I always had to explain that, which I understand because when I first seen that, I'm like, how are they selling this for $60,000 a kilo when I can get it for $4? And then
Right.
As you research and learn, and now I tell the person, and the light comes on.
Right.
So.
Man.
And I did the shells, the eggs, and also we can sell the when we sell them for food there in Ghana or export them, the excess stuff you throw away that can be fed to chickens.
Oh, so they use they don't waste nothing.
No, at my farm, I want to go to zero waste. If I can find somebody who would we have plastic. I don't have a secondary use for plastic, but if I can donate to somebody who reutilize it, I would do that. But zero waste is the key.
Okay, so tell me about let me jump around just a little bit. So you've got this. You go to Ghana, you've got this light bulb that comes on, and you're able to see like all the potential, and then you have, like you say, a biochemist that's driving an Uber. Is it that agriculture like is frowned upon, or does that seem like it's lower class and everybody wants to do something else?
A lot of the young Ghanaians don't realize the amount of income you can get from agriculture. They look down on farmers as dirty, poor, beneath them. I spoke at a high school in Ghana. It's probably been about 2 years now, and I can tell I had their attention when I tell them 1 acre of cabbage there in Ghana, you can make more money than school teachers and some doctors there on 1 acre, because you can get 4 to 5 harvests in 1 year there, because you can harvest year round, and you can put up to 19,000 heads of cabbage per acre, and if you just use dollars, $19,000, that's almost $100,000, or that's almost 500, almost 1 million CDs, basically.
Okay.
I mean, and they realized, wow, look at this money. And they didn't realize. They thought that, like a farmer, we have the computers, we have IT, we have the marketing. There's more than just putting the seeds in the ground and walk away. And then you got to have some type of medical knowledge. I mean, not medical, mathematician knowledge, as far as formulating uh, fertilizer, weedicide, fungicide. You can't just spray the stuff on there and walk away. So there's more than just putting seeds in the ground and wait to harvest your money.
Yeah, and I remember. Tell me about the land, like the fertility of the land, because I know you said you could just spit a watermelon seed. Next thing you know, it start growing.
The land is fertile, but different plants have unique requirements.
Okay.
Like I even did a breakdown on a spreadsheet that the manure from cows, pigs, chickens, goats, and I compare. They all have certain properties to them.
Okay.
And as far as peppers require iron.
Okay.
All of them have all the other nutrients, but they lack only pig don't have iron at a minute quantity. So we had to get iron from other places. So a lot of farmers they growing peppers and they just get the cow manure and the first year it's okay. The second year they can't grow anything. So they don't realize that the food requirement for different plant vegetables are unique.
Right.
Like we grew cantaloupe. Most Ghanaians never had a cantaloupe. We sold like 300. They were like gone. And now we're gonna keep a small quantity of cantaloupes because the grocery store chain. We want all your cantaloupes. We all yellow melons. We have the honeydews. They love the honeydew. And so if we expand by another 10 acres, we may, if the market say, hey, we need 10 acres of cantaloupe, and we'll do that. And then we plant sunflowers throughout the farm to bring pollinators in. I'm even thinking about doing a couple of beehives.
Wow.
So just not for commercial, but to
just to
pollinate.
So tell me about. I was doing a little research, and then we spoke a little bit about it offline about tomatoes. Like even like tomatoes, like it's just so many different crops over there that they import.
It's mind-boggling. It makes you angry. Ghana imports $400 million plus every year of tomatoes from Burkina Faso. This is like for our company, in maybe a year or two, we will buy more land, do greenhouse tomatoes, because if we can get 25% of that business,
right,
that's $100 million by anybody math, and it's amazing. They import tomatoes, and then then they export tomatoes to China, and China send the tomato paste back to Ghana, and it's like they had a factory there, and they closed it down.
So they export some tomatoes, but then they send it back as tomato paste. So they
And
be buying the tomato.
I'm like, maybe I'm not intelligent enough to understand this,
Yeah.
But it's not just that. It's on and on. Ghana is the biggest gold producer in the world, and they own 2% of their gold mines now. So it's on and on. So culture change. I'm sure I can only affect a small percentage, but we have to.
Now I've been seeing online. There are a lot of people that move to Ghana from the UK, from Jamaica, from different areas. I know some of them go not with a business mind, but to live, and then I see a lot of them have to return back home. What do you think the biggest pitfall is?
Not planning correctly, and they think, oh, everybody going to Ghana is utopia, and then they move to Ghana and they move to Accra or Kumasi, which is more the modern area. And Accra got $1 million subdivisions there.
Okay.
And just a regular rent, it's comparable to Dallas, where I moved from, in different areas.
Right.
So the closer to the city, you're going to pay more money. I lived, when I first got there, I rented a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, it was a 4-plex. And I paid the equivalent of $140 a month. I wasn't in Accra, though.
Right.
And I was comfortable. My neighbors, I walked to the market, but but a lot of people don't understand that. If you move to Accra, you may still spend,
Comparable. Yeah.
comparable or more there.
Wow.
So they know you're American, so they know
Price gonna
we
go
got
up.
we rich, and compared to their income, we are, and so people move to Accra and they realize if they got to take an Uber every day and or this and that, yeah, but move outside of Accra. If you got the funds, I love going to Accra. I go out to eat dinner. I don't go to clubs, but I listen to music. If they have a nice jazz band, I might go listen.
Yeah.
And so opportunities there, but no, living there, you might as well stay in the United States.
Right. So, tell me about the process of I remember they had the year of return, but what is the process of getting like citizenship maybe?
Right, you're allowed to get a visa and for 60 days, and you get it extended. And again, when you extend it 3 or 4 times, then you can get a residency, a non-resident Ghana card, and then you can get that every year, and then you could actually apply for citizenship. Once I own a business, I'm employees, so I can probably fast track and get a citizenship now.
How long does it usually take? Like 7 years?
Like 5 years,
5 years,
Yeah, but I could, I know government officials, and so I can probably get it. And the only advantage I see is not having to get an extension every year, because there's there's
just
no
paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
But everybody do it, because I've never renounced my American citizenship.
Right.
My retirement income would stop.
Right. I'm about to mess with that.
But a lot of people, America is where United States is what made me who I am. So I'm not going to denounce America, but I think lifestyle is another country. It may, if you haven't lived outside the United States, you may have a little culture shock. The electric may go out for a day.
Okay.
The roads are bad. In most places, and traffic, and somewhere where it take you 10 minutes ago, it can be 2 hours.
Just because of conditions.
Yeah. But as far as fresh food, one thing about when I moved to Ghana, May 31st of 2021, I was 366 pounds.
Okay.
And I see a flight of stairs, and I'm like, oh no. And I immediately got there, and I started, how can I lose weight? I'm not a gym rat. And I looked up and seen this ad, this thing on the internet about intermittent fasting. And I follow this guy. I don't know if I can say his name, but his name is Jason Fung.
Okay.
He's an American doctor or nutrition, whatever. And I started watching the videos, like, wow. And he was doing this before and afters, and I can do that. Yeah. And I started, I'll tell you, don't go straight. My schedule is 18-6.
Okay.
It means from
18.
Yeah, and I have a 6-hour window to eat. Okay. Exactly. And but I knew I had to lose weight, So, and then I started walking up to 6 miles every other morning, and the most I walked was almost 9 miles, And I was losing, I'm not exaggerating, 3 and 4 pounds a day. I weigh myself in the morning before I walk, come home, and wait, and I was like, what, And I dropped 40 pounds in, I think, October at the getting there. It was like, I was on it. I was walking almost every day then.
Yeah, I remember you had said in one of your videos how one of the, I don't know if it was an Uber driver or somebody that knew you when you first got there. A couple months later, and was like, whoa.
Yeah. And I even went to the doctor. I thought maybe there's something wrong, I was like, and the weight was, I was 366 and 344, then 328, then 308, and I hadn't been under 300 since 2000.
Okay.
And then I got to 297. I'm like, whoa, look at this, and then and it kept going down. I think right now I'm at I'm between 240 and 250. Okay. I'm sure I'm gonna gain 10 pounds on this 31 days in the United States. But I get back there and get to walking, and I want to get down to 220. Okay. I'm 65 years old. I feel great.
Yes,
I feel great, man. So, but I work hard every day. I'm on the computer every day because I have a company to run.
Right.
And that's why I was a little late here. I had to take care of a little business, there and here. So.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, I know, like like I said, like after this goes, and some of my listeners and viewers gonna see this, and they're gonna start looking at, pulling up Ghana, and they're gonna see the success stories, and they're gonna see the horror stories. And one of the things that's gonna come up a lot is gonna be how you have to police, and money's got to be given here, or you can't get nothing done unless you give somebody some money.
That is a fact. I mean, it's the scam culture.
Okay.
But I don't. The police officers I learned, I don't pay them nothing. That's their job. But if you want something done in a hurry, you may have to pay 200 CDs. Mm-hmm. That's $20.
And one thing keep coming up is the Ghanaian time. Like if they tell I'll be there tomorrow at 10 a.m., it's not going to be 10 a.m.
My employees know I don't play that. You will get fired. We call it something else, and but I won't say that. But they take it to the 10th degree. If you have an appointment at 1:00, it may be 2 or 3, and then they pop up. Oh, ain't nothing wrong. They don't do that with me. Yeah, I as a Uber driver, I drive also. We have a company car, but if I go to car, I hire a driver. I say, look, if you're supposed to pick me at 1:00,
I need you here
at 1:00. You should be waiting for me.
Yeah.
I fired a driver. A couple of them. You can't come on time. I'm sorry. No,
Right.
I can't use you. Because if I have an appointment, I expect to be there on time. And I normally leave. If I go to a car, I give a 2-hour window because you never know, the traffic could be backed up.
And you come from a culture with the military, everything got to be on
time.
You
get discharged for being
late.
Yeah. So, Ghana time is something else. And they know. I mean, my employees know. I don't play that Ghana time, Everyone got to start work at 6. You be there at 6,
Okay. So tell me a little bit about the weather, man, because I've never been to Africa. I'm coming soon. Since I met you, man, you've been a resource for me. I mean, educationally, just open up my mind to some different things, and just opportunity that I've seen over there just from talking with you. Like, just tell me what to expect. Like when I get there.
Oh, the weather is two seasons.
Okay.
Dry and wet, rainy season. And the dry season, I tell people my preference, come in the rainy season.
Okay.
It doesn't rain every day, but in the dry season they call it the Hamatan, where it's dry and dusty.
Mm-hmm.
You can take a shower, wash your face, walk outside for 5 minutes to come in, and but I prefer the heat because it's all air conditioning. But if you can adjust to the heat, it's not like it doesn't get like Arizona hot.
Okay.
The top temperature I personally see in Ghana is maybe 98.
Okay.
But it's normally 75 to 85. Even dry and in the rainy season. So it's adjustable. It's great. So no weather issues for me. But
okay. That's awesome. So this is 2 Cups Cafe, man. I always say 2 cups, one for the wake, one for the work. It's the first cup is one for the wake. It's what's inspiring you, what you dreaming about, what gets you going. And the second cup is for the work. What are you working on? What you got upcoming? What steps are you putting in place to get it done? So if you could just tell me a little bit about one for the wake, one for the work.
Well, the income, the farm, like I said, we have 38 acres and growing.
Okay.
And the cliche multiple streams of income, that's our business model.
Okay.
And so we with the snails is one thing, and with the peppers is something else, and then we growing other stuff as well. And then we doing the chili peppers chili flakes you put on pizza, whatever.
Yeah.
We buying an industrial hydrator.
Okay.
And from China,
produce them.
And so we can
manufacture.
We can dry the peppers, the chili peppers, and put them in bags. So when the market is low, we can store them. We can sell them. So that's huge. We're going to export them as well. Okay. We already got a customer that they require 10 tons a year. They reached out to me. I said, well, when I get back, we're gonna have this dehydrator. I'm sorry, and that's it. But I told you about the snail, all the products, snail eggs. I'm going to Milan, Italy, and I mean, and like we're gonna do cassava as well.
Cassava. So I remember you was telling me about cassava. Like we do potatoes, they do.
They do cassava for their starch and carbohydrates, and that's huge. 1 acre cassava can generate about I think 30 tons an acre, and that generates at least $20,000 per acre. And we're gonna lease roughly about 600 acres for just cassava. But we ain't gonna not start growing until I'm a contact top 10 cassava buyers.
Okay.
And I want to meet with them and say, hey, we want to grow cassava for you. Let me know what kind of cassava, because there's different types of cassava, you know, and what kind of cassava you need. And if you sign a contract or not a contract, a letter of intent to buy from us, we will grow your type of cassava and give you a discount based on that, you know, because of course, we got to make money, but we won't, you know, if say instead of 7,000, we'll charge you 5.5, you know, something like that. So
I like the way you said that, because a lot of times we see like say we know somebody's making money in a certain industry, and a lot of times young entrepreneurs look at, oh, there's opportunity in that, and then we just start doing it before you secured a customer base. You just got this money out there. So you said you want to research and you want to see exactly what the consumer wants, the customer wants,
right,
and then say, now we're going to put the resources behind it.
and that's what I did with the habaneros and then the chili peppers. I said, you know, I'm not gonna just like people say we're gonna grow the. They got this local, it's an eggplant. They call it garnered.
Okay.
It's white versus the black fruit that we have, vegetable. And I'm like, no, it's not viable commercially.
Yeah.
If we grow it and we make 20 cents on it, no.
Right. Yeah,
you know,
can grow whatever. Huh?
yeah, you know. So when I look at the habaneros, if we don't export a habanero, we still would make money
From the
local.
Okay.
But when we export it, you know, there's a country that require habaneros, you know, and the chili peppers, you know, eventually, hopefully we can, United States get a lot of their peppers from Mexico, but they had to buy stuff from other countries like Africa and stuff like that. Okay. So why not, you know, we can ship, you know, chili peppers or habaneros here too. So.
For sure. So who's the biggest, what country is the biggest importer of goods from Ghana, like outside of Ghana?
Most European countries.
Okay.
When I say most, it's collectively because they can't grow tropical fruit.
Okay.
You know, and peppers, even though it's a tropical fruit, peppers require heat, sun.
Okay.
And if they have a growing season in Germany, it's 90 days, you know, which means that peppers take 120 days to grow. So they have to do a short window. In Ghana, if you got water, you can plant year round. Yeah. And I did a pond that holds 400 gallons of water. Okay. I had people coming out to visit just to observe what I did for capturing rainwater. And all through the mountainside, I'm literally below a mountainside. Yeah. We dug a trench. I had a commercially dug a trench, and then streams of water, and it goes to the pond. So every time it rains, it replenishes our pond. So our borehole / wells will still retain water, you know. Okay. And we use all the water out there. We got a solar pump, you know, and a gas pump, so we pump the water. So we constantly got water. So when a lot of farmers in Ghana, once the rain stopped, they stop farming.
Gotta stop, huh? Wow.
Us, we got peppers, $30K a week.
Get the
Yes.
water. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's why I need to buy another 10, 20 acres, because 2 seasons of peppers, we got to put beans, legumes or something in there to replenish the land. Then I need to rotate that over. That's why I need more land. And once that's done, then we'll go back to doing peppers, you know.
Yeah. I like the plan, man.
I mean, it's huge, and I that's why I transparent. I want to share my vision so everyone can see what I'm doing, and maybe you and your assistant can, if y'all do a separate company or whatever, y'all could do something like that too.
Yeah.
You know?
I just like just the vision and the possibility, you know, and not somebody that's just talking about doing something, but you can actually lay eyes on.
Yeah, see the execution.
You know, a lot of people get wealthy because they can see what others can't see, but then the ones that come behind it, once they get a vision, they may be able to take it further, or they maybe have the ability to dream about something else. Like, no, I know Calvin did it, and don't matter your age, you started this, man, in your 60s.
Yeah.
It's not like, you grow up in it or you was raised in it. You didn't inherit it. This is something that you saw and you seized hold of it, man, and that's inspiring.
I see something else. What I tell people, people's like, I can't cook. I hear people say that. I'm like, can you read?
Right.
So if you can read, you can cook.
Yes, sir.
You can follow basic instructions. So that stuff I think is a cop out. They don't want to cook.
You don't gotta read now. You can watch YouTube.
Exactly.
Some of my favorite recipes come from guys online. Like I like this guy smoking and grilling with AB.
Yeah.
That guy, I'm like, I gotta
So
make
that
that.
excuse, I can't say I can read and watch a YouTube and fly a plane, but I can cook, or I can learn about farming, and then I think everybody knows that plants need nutrients, so research, and then we're gonna do a chicken small chicken coop because chickens are garbage disposals.
They eat everything.
Everything. Yeah. People talking about chickens versus pigs. I'm like, chickens are worse than pigs. They eat everything, I mean,
oh, wow.
And then we're going to, just for eggs, and it's for employees, they can have free eggs.
Yeah.
At the end of the week, we got 14 employees. They can split them up, take them home free. Mm-hmm. But yet, in each snail, when we start harvesting snail for food, we can feed the garbage of the snail to the
chickens.
And I think by next year, we'll have over 75,000 snails, and like I say, they get big as your fist. And
how many structures is that?
We're gonna have 10 structures.
Okay.
And each one will hold a minimum of 7,500 snails. And then we got to have a structure for nursery too, because you got to separate the eggs from the adults. Because if they need any, even though we feed them calcium, if they got a little egg calcium mix them, they're gonna eat it.
Yeah.
So we got to have. So we probably have at least 100,000.
Okay.
And so that's more capacity. We can't hatch and keep all the eggs.
Right.
We probably can't sell them all. So Europe. So at that point, we'll use them as protein. We'll use them for to feed chickens.
Okay.
We may have more chickens there. We feed it as a chicken feed substitute. Sell that, and that's another stream of income.
Yeah, for sure. So you got all this great stuff going on in Africa. I hear about the exports to, Italy, the UK. Like, how can people in the U.S. support your farm or support what you're doing? I mean,
well, one thing I hope whoever watched my YouTube do subscribe and ask questions. I respond to every question.
Okay.
But we selling the snail mucin.
Okay.
Dehydrated, and it'll be here in the United States, and we want to wholesale it.
Okay.
But we're gonna do a retail line. We're gonna do a beard oil.
Oh yeah.
And then we're gonna do a skin lubrication.
Okay.
Right now, Kim Kardashian has a snail mucin for the hair product.
Okay.
But that's down the line. But we want to at least say, hey, look, this is us, because we can sell this to every demographic, has skin issues or beard, And I met with a fabricator in Los Angeles last week. And so I'll be back here in the United States in 3 or 4 months. We're going to do a line for beard oil. We're going to make sure that, we're going to make sure that it don't have something in it. They have a chemist who make sure it don't peel your skin,
Right.
We got material safety data sheet, MSDS, product, we got some stuff is proprietary where we don't share everything, but we want to make sure it's viable and to sell, because if you buy beard oil at a couple ounces for $30, with the snail mucin, it'd be at a higher price point because it's premium, and we're not going to do what the major cosmetic companies do, is put trace amounts. Yeah. We're going to make sure you got an active amount of snail mucin in there. Okay. We produce it, so we can put it. Yeah. So we ain't got to be skimpy on the ingredients.
Okay.
So nobody else will have this at that level because they can't afford it. 1 ounce of dehydrated snail mucin at the point of $60,000 would be $2,200. If I sell it at $45,000, it'd be $1,500.
Right.
So that's an ounce.
Right.
That's comparable to gold.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Man, that's awesome, man. Before we get out of here, if you got one thing you want to tell, like young or old or whatever, man, what kind of advice or what kind of nugget you want to leave them with?
Look towards Africa, not just Ghana. Look towards Africa. There's opportunities for us to help ourselves and help the Africans on the continent. And Western TV still don't do Africa justice. You know, I mean, you keep saying about the amount of killings and stuff. If somebody in a European country, if somebody killed 100 kids, 100 people, the whole world be in uproar. But the same thing goes on on the continent, and you don't hear a whisper. I mean, or be 20 kids was killed in this country in Africa. That's it. I mean, but that's why I say I want to sponsor a youth trip. Next year.
Okay.
And plus Toledo Scott Bulldog. I'm gonna add that. So I want to add, but I want to limit it to if students want to come. If we can get, I don't care, 100 kids to come from different high schools. I mean, white and black. I don't want to think any other demographic ethnicities, but come there and see what I have saw. Yeah. Because just think, why did the major companies in Ghana hiring these people at a living wage? Like call centers, when you get a call somebody for IT or whatever, either from India, Philippines, why not Ghana?
Right.
They speak English.
For sure. So, man, this has been great. Tell me, man, like for my listeners, viewers, what's the name of your farm or how we can follow you?
Well, here we have two parts of the farm. Okay. Here in the United States, Shy Hills Mucin Supply. Okay. That is the key where our product line will be sold for. Ghana is the manufacturing basic, but the United States in Dallas will be the distribution. Okay. And we did that for various business model,
For sure.
And then Shy Hills Agricultural Farm Limited, which I have a YouTube. We got online commercials. Have you seen the commercials, right? Yep. And we're gonna put out more commercials on the snail egg. So we would need to educate everybody. Every demographic. They have certain needs and likes. We're gonna want to do that. Snail eggs. We already got one of the peppers, and we might do one for the yellow melon or honeydew and the cantaloupe. But these commercials are getting people's attention. Yeah. So I know people are starting to copycat already, which that's cool. Yeah. I mean, competition, but I want to iron down contracts with people.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, and the financial windfall for me and the investors should be satisfactory to everybody.
Man, that's so great, man. I just want to say, man, I appreciate, man, you taking out the time to come here. I know you've been having a busy schedule. You had to hit your certain spots before you head back to Ghana. Man, and I just want to appreciate you coming out, and I look forward to coming to Ghana, man, and just seeing.
Thank you for inviting me. And like I say, if you had any questions, reach out. Don't like people ask questions and I'm like, look, are you gonna let me manage the company or you want to manage it? I'm not throwing stuff against the wall. Hopefully it stick. Right. I'm doing extensive research. Like, no, we're not gonna grow that. No. I said, goats is big there. But I can't
do everything.
Everything.
Yeah, because when I come, I want to take a look at where they have those waterfronts he was telling me about, and I saw a couple of videos, like some beautiful beaches over there.
Next year, I'm getting a house built on the ocean somewhere out there. So, and once I have my niece and her husband and their two grown sons and their wives moving to Ghana to help me run this operation, and as we get everything running, then I'm still gonna be there, but I'll be in the beach, and me and you can be drinking a pina colada or coffee or whatever,
I'm about to say, man, you get that beachfront. I want to be your neighbor now.
And also, I want to build like a fourplex on the land at the farm where investors come and they can stay for free. Okay. They can't live there,
right?
But
well,
if you come in, if at that point, if you can come for 30 days, okay. Then you can, but it's not going. I'm gonna camp out for 20 years. No.
Yeah, well, from the return they ain't gonna have to worry about staying too long.
Yeah. I mean, That's one thing people ask about the financials. But look, I will share that as we go along. Like once we start making income from the peppers, I'll start sharing the financials because right now people be panicked because everything is out, you know. And then I'm putting 80% of my income into the farm as well, you know. So
you're building it up. You invest. I mean, most times you don't see a return for 3 to 5 years anyway.
But we'll beat that.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll beat that. You know, 30,000 a week. Would you know? I mean, so. Like I say, investors are know by January 2025, no matter what the number is, we're gonna start paying dividends. You know, and because it makes me feel good that people look like me trusted in me, strangers even, you know, and I got to make good on this, you know. So
I'm excited for you. I'm excited.
I feel good. That's why people are working every day. I feel great. This is something. This is mine or ours now. You know, mine. You know, but man, I tell you, I can't ask for a better opportunity that I created for us. You know.
Well, I hope you don't mind, man. Me saying if you do, we'll just cut it out. But you know, just from our interactions, man, I was able to come on board and see the vision, man. You allowed me to come on in.
Yeah, I mean that's why I said I didn't know whether you wanted to. And that's the problem. And for us we just met face to face a couple of days ago, and you know you reached out to me on Facebook, and you said you possibly want to invest. I said, well, you know what the first group of investors, everything gonna be the same, but I open up less of my income to allow more investors to come in. Right now, with the amount of contact I got getting people, I could probably raise another $200K. Because there's the people who have invested now. They said instead of 10K, they want to do 20K.
Right.
You know, and I want to add, there was a tour bus that came through. People watched the videos and they wanted to meet me, see my farm. And the one bus, I think they had like 13 people, 7 of them invested.
Just on the spot.
Because I said, I won't let you invest unless you read the information and ask questions. Because I don't want buyer's remorse or investor's remorse, you know. And so I didn't. One sister, African American, said I didn't already researched it. She invested $30K, and her friend invested $20K.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll tell you, this is it's bigger than I'm seeing right now. But I know based on right now, Snail Mucin is an $8 billion business.
Okay.
In just cosmetics. When you add in dermatology. There's government agencies using it. Dementia,
like burns.
Wound repair, dementia research. They even got it in toothpaste. It's on and on cancer research. So I think it's really like a $50 billion business. I mean, just think if we got 10% of that.
Right.
It make you feel unreal, you know, like wow, what? So, but that's how big. I don't want this to be a mom and pop operation. You know, we gonna grow and do it the right way. You know, like any snail mucin leaving the farm, it's gonna be that biochemist. We building a laboratory when I get back. It's gonna be tested
for sure.
So when you put something on your face, you know it ain't got no salmon animal or whatever on it. You know, it's like we're gonna make sure. You know. So that's the game plan. So
it's been great, man. I can't wait till I come over and check everything out.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you come back over here, we probably be able to give an update on the podcast, and it's gonna be. I can't wait to see how far it's gonna move ahead.
They sending me pictures of all the stuff that's fruiting and stuff because you know we're growing the food for the snails as well. You know, and they eat a lot.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I appreciate that you inviting me for the interview, and I think great things will rise out of this endeavor that we embarked on. So.
Yes, sir. Well, man, this has been Two Cups Cafe, man. I'm so excited about what's coming up next. If you enjoy this content, like, subscribe, share. Leave some comments about if you got questions. We're gonna have a link to Calvin's information down below. And until next time, it's your man, Two Cups.
All right, thank you.